Live stream is loading. Quality is medium. It looks like the quality is medium. Which medium? It's medium. Which medium? It's medium. Ha! What's up, everybody? What's going on, Internet? I gotta click the buttons. Boom! There we go. Full screen. Let's get rid of that loading thing. What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Friday, and I'm freaking out. I'm freaking out, man. Woo-hoo! Because it's Friday. How you doing? How's everybody out there in the world doing today? Hopefully you're doing fantastic. What's going on with the microphone? I don't know. What's happening with the microphone? Yeah, there we go. Well, we got 19 people live into the chat today. Ha ha ha. Let's give a shout out to the first to the chat because I actually have it today. Mr. Bald and Dangerous, otherwise known as Dougie from the UK. Coming in first to the chat, quickly followed by Rocky's Rocky. Oddball Aquatics is in the chat. I see a Mr. Dan Squires in the chat. I see me. Well, that's me. Don't read me. That's too vain, you guys. I think everybody knows I'm here. Vexing Cat, what's up? You've got a segment in the show today. Vexing Cat segment coming up, hot and fresh. Bentley Pascal is here. Good to see you. Eric Gone Mad. Going totally crazy. Asking about posting pictures on Patreon. Hopefully someone in the chat can help with that. There's a walkthrough. I completely forget. Barbara Jackson is here. What's going on, Barbara? Savannah the Aqua Llama. Hunter Severson. What's up, Hunter? Good to see you. Ryan F. showing up in the chat. Good to see you. Who else? Candy Overhauls is here. Joel Gillett from New Zealand. Alyssa Bentley. What's going on, Alyssa? Coming all the way in from Portland or Seattle or Portland, Seattle, we'll call it, right? Tukwila, maybe. I'm in the lovely Tacoma of Western Washington of the United States, if you don't know, and it's a beautiful shining day outside, but it is a little warm in my office today, so if I start nodding off because it's too hot in here, I guess maybe you'll know why. Dan Squires just posted in the chat. Today is the Patreon day. Yes, typically on Fridays we answer the Patreon questions, and today is no different than a typical Friday. We're going to be answering the Patreon questions. We're going to be going through that. We're going to talk about a couple of things. We have a video segment from my 240-gallon aquascape, which we're going to be hitting up. From the early chat, we're going to just jump right into it here. We're going to jump in to what I was talking about during the early chat. So, those of you out there that have been following the channel, yeah, you know, that I have been traveling quite a bit, and I'm going to continue to travel and bring you guys more videos of fish rooms out there in the world. T-Frakes Tank says Tom Barr's at his local fish store today doing escape seminar. Yes, I was I collected Manzanita with Tom Barr last week, which you guys will be able to check out a video of that. But I wanted to mention that because I'm going out on the road a lot, I have an old strap, okay, for my camera, right? Which looks like this. It doesn't work terribly bad, but I'm kind of unhappy with the performance because it keeps... So the main thing is here that it has this little clip, kind of a quick clip thing, right? But it takes like all this weird contraption that I've had to make in order to be able to take it from the strap and be able to put it on a tripod and all that kind of stuff. Don't want to get too technical here, but this is an Arca Swiss plate that goes on to hooks into your tripod and all that kind of stuff. But I need a strap so I can carry my camera around with me quite a bit. Now, this janky situation here, like, goes together all kind of funky and comes loose all the time. Unhappy with that performance. That's not great. That's not something that I can really rely on. Is it coming loose, having problems, constantly having to take it apart? I did out on the road a couple of times have to like take it apart, put it back together. Not great. Definitely wasting a ton of time, and this crazy thing rattling around all the time is bashes into the side of my camera and starting to kind of rub a raw spot into the camera. So that's not great. So I looked around online because I was like, you know what? It's time to just get a better strap. And so I went ahead and I ordered this Immorden strap, right? Now, it has a different quick release kind of situation down here that has this little doodly whopper, whatever you want to call this, twizzle twazzle, sizzle sazzle thingamajigger, that is like a quick release function deal. Now, here's the thing. So they sent it completely cinched down, and then on me getting it in the unlocked position so that I could take it out. Oh, there goes the chunk of metal. The chunk of metal is broken inside here, so now it no longer like goes on and stays on. You know what I mean? Like it no longer cinches on to the little nubbin. Where's the thing? I brought it all in here on purpose so I could show you guys this. So this goes to the bottom of the camera, and then it has like a ball at the bottom here, and then that clips in, and then this thing is supposed to lock down on it, right? And then you're able to wobbly like carry your camera around on a strap. Now I'm not dissatisfied with the strap. It seems very comfortable. It seems pretty cool, but this thing is broken, right? So this won't like lock down anymore and stay on there. But you know, so I guess I'm just gonna chalk this up to as a waste of $40, right? So I don't know. I don't know if I'm gonna. I don't really know if I'm going to. I don't know if I'm really going to like send this back or not. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be worth it to send it back. I'm going to see if I can go find the box out of the recycling and all that and see if I can't ship it back, which of course I have to like hook up my printer, do all this kind of crazy stuff. And just kind of chalk it up to a $40 thing. I don't know. I don't know if I'm just going to chalk it up or not. But Dave B was saying, good thing you found out without my camera on it. Yes, that is the bright side. That's the silver lining here, that I managed to break this thing. If it wasn't already broken, I don't know. I managed to break it before it like gave out while I was like walking somewhere with my camera and like break a lens or something like that. I think, as you guys know, the trials and tribulations of getting full frame lenses, they are very, very expensive. And I have a lot of money in lenses and stuff like that. And the last thing I would want to do is just have that camera go collapsing to the ground and get broken. Not only is that my livelihood, but come on now, that's a lot of money, you know? So we'll see what happens. I'm not sure. I guess my big reason for bringing this up would be maybe there's some photographers, maybe there's somebody out there that that knows about like the best strap, the best quick strap around. I know that like Peak Design makes one and a couple other ones out there, but those have been out of stock. Like they haven't even, like B&H hasn't even had them in or anything like that. So that's a little bit ridiculous. Dan Squire says, only 7 likes. I bet you there's 3 or 4 dislikes already. Because a lot of people claim that I got super political on the 4th of July. The 4th of July stream. A lot of people got turned off by the old 4th of July stream, talking government stuff. People always freak out if I start, air quote, talking political But that's one thing I would like to address here real quickly. Everyone that watches this show, I would like you guys to take a step back and think about why your reaction is immediately to not talk about political things that are going on. I think that is a huge situation that we need to address, like as a world people. I've noticed that's the knee-jerk reaction from people is don't talk about politics, don't talk about politics. And I would like to remind you guys, I would like to remind everybody that the politics that go on, we should be talking about them. We should be able to have a good adult conversation about certain things because those politics that are happening is what is going to affect all of us in the world to some degree, one way or another. And I realistically think the powers that be, right, if we want to talk weird conspiracy theories or whatever, I would say that the powers that be want us to not talk about what they're doing. So I think, whether it's on purpose or not, I think the side effect that we're getting right now is that people freak out because there may or may not be a political conversation going on. Whether it's on purpose, whether that was like a purposeful thing, I don't necessarily think it would be. I don't know. I don't know that it's a conspiracy that somebody's doing it on purpose or not, but I think it just has to do with the technology, like Facebook, what gets shared around, stuff like that people are just getting worn out and they're getting worn down. And the knee-jerk reaction has become, don't talk politics. Oh my gosh. Which I think we all should be having the adult conversations about what is going on. And this isn't even a political stance on anything. I think everyone should just be being able to have those conversations and really just start to address some of the stuff that's going on. Vexing Cat says, I'm beyond words angry about the politics at this time. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I think they want us to be super angry, super, upset and that kind of stuff. I had an opportunity to have a couple conversations recently with some of the older generation. So I'm 38 years old. If I'm talking about somebody who is, let's say 76 years old, that is definitely the older generation for me. And we, it keeps coming up in conversation that, 20, 30 years ago, it wasn't that weird to have a conversation about what was going on politically with people. But nowadays, it's a super faux pas that everybody's got to run away from. So I think we should all take a step back and kind of think like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Why don't they want, it's like, why don't they want us to talk about this stuff? But I think they're stuffing a lot of stuff down our throats these days in order to get us to stop talking about that kind of stuff. I see Mr. Greg Jones in the chat says, Joel, if you ran for president, what fish would be your running mate? What fish would be my running mate? It would be really difficult to figure out. I think I would probably go with like a wild-caught beta would probably be maybe like a Pugnax beta or something like that. I think maybe that's where I would go. I'd go like wild-caught beta. I wouldn't necessarily want an aquacultured fish to be my running mate for president because we definitely want, because I would be like an aquacultured human. We would want someone from the other side of the fence, right? We'd want somebody that came from nature. We'd want a fish that came from the wild and could tell us all about the trials and tribulations of the wild, right? So I think that's who I would run with. I think if it was a fish fam person who I would run with, I think I would run with most likely. I have two options here that come to mind initially. I'm thinking Jay Wilson would be somebody I'd probably run with. If we were to run for president from the fish fam, right? Then I would have to put some thought in here. I'd probably maybe Jay Wilson or maybe I'd probably put or maybe like maybe Flip Aquatics because he's like from the middle. But then again, maybe Flip Aquatics I might put him in there. I might put Rob in there. Not sure. But I think my cabinet would be a lot more fun, you know. Like who did I put in? Secretary of State, Corium Coop. He would know what it's all about. They say Lucas Bretz. I would run with LR Bretz. No. I would not run with LR Bretz. I would put LR Bretz in as the head of the EPA. You know, that position has recently become open, so you know what I'm saying. I'd put him in there. You know, there's so many cabinet spots that would be fun to fill. You know what I mean? Like who would be the head of education? I'd have to say I'd put Jiminy of Schwishky Video. I'd put Jiminy in there as the head of education because he's very good at teaching quite a few things. And I will have to admit, I did have a moment of zen the other day when I realized that our boy Sashimi Whiskey, aka Jimmy himself, who just said Aquapro's Secretary of Clickbait. I would say, so Schwisky hit the 1 year. He's been here in Western Washington. And I would say that a year ago, when Jimmy moved here, I would say maybe we were equals. Maybe. It would be a bit of a stretch, realistically. But let's just say we were at the same point. But I had a bit of a zen moment the other day, and I realized just how far along Jimmy has come along, and just puts me to shame on a regular basis. And just a shout out, pat on the back to that guy, because I love him very much, and I hope we keep going over the next years and years and years. And I just can't wait to see the crazy evolution, like 5 years from now, when maybe, you know, Jimmy's got like 3 cameras, one up on a crane, and he's got another one over here, and he's got his gaffers running around putting lights in the right spots and stuff like that. Or his grips. Sorry, he's got his grips running around putting in the lights and stuff. Not the gaffers. What do the gaffers do? I forget. Are the gaffers the sound guys? No. Gaffer. Let me see. I mean, yes, there's gaffers tape. No, I want job definition. There we go. Gaffer definition. The chief electrician. Oh gosh, how did I not know that? That's my. Sorry guys. Total brain fart. It's so hot in here. Chief electrician on a motion picture or television production unit. I should have known that. Oh. But as you guys know, I don't run a very professional set around here. I just got things on fire. I got cameras up on things. I got all sorts of strange stuff going on. But I just can't wait for the future when I get an opportunity to see, you know, the old Schwishky. The old Schwishky. The old Schwisky with the whole team going and doing some crazy stuff. So LG3 says gaffer is lights. No, key grip. The grips are the lights, and we just learned the gaffer's the electrician. So I got that mixed up in my head. This chair. I'm going to throw this chair into the ocean someday, you guys. It's going to be a really cool YouTube video, and it'll probably be on fire, you know what I mean? So, whoa. Okay. Yeah. What is it? Hey, man. Mr. Chips, what did you do to the chair? Is it broken? Oh, okay, there we go. Got it fixed. Mr. Chips back there wondering what I'm doing. All right, we've got a whopping 70 people here live today. I like that. I like to keep it high and tight. We don't need a ton of people here. It's summertime, you guys. We're kind of like down at the proverbial internet beach, just chilling. I like it. Let's check in with some of the chat stuff before we go to, what do you guys vote for? The video? Do we vote for the video first, or do we go to the Patreon questions? That's the deal. That's the question. Let's see here. Oh, Alyssa's internet died. Oh, sorry to hear that. Johnny Zelaya is asking, Joel, do I need moss to breed shrimp? No, you don't need moss to breed shrimp. My shrimp tank actually doesn't even have any moss in it right now at all. Pretty much just the mangled mess of plants that are in there right now. The 150's needing a little care. So is the 240. But we just started that out today. what's the word? We just started the rehab on the 240 after I've been gone for a while. Well, everybody just says video for sure. Okay, well, let's go to the video segment, and I'll run into what the video segment is all about. Let's get it going on here. As you guys know, I've been traveling quite a bit. And what do my tanks start to look like when I've been gone and not been sticking my hands in there? And I realized, not to beat Tom Barr into the ground or anything like that, but when we were spending time with Tom Barr, I had another epiphanous moment, right? Where I was like, oh yeah, because he was talking about, hey man, you just got to get your hands in here. You got to get your hands in here, boy. And I'm like, that is 100%. If I know that there's probably not a lot of people out there that consider me like a top tier aquascaper or anything like that, and I'm fine with that. That's not a big deal. But the top tier guys that I've always talked to have always said, what's the trick? What's the key? Getting in there, doing work, that's the key. That's almost always comes back to that. So if you get your hands in there, you get your hands wet, you're doing the stuff, that's the way it's gonna, that's how you're gonna succeed and you're gonna do well. Ooh, need some of that water. I'm super dehydrated from yesterday. I was outside digging in a hole all day yesterday, and it was like 85 out. I wish I would have had that scheduled for today. It's not as hot and crazy out today as it was yesterday, but spend all day out in the sun, reap the rewards of doing that. But let's just go to the video and make sure it starts from the beginning. Okay, as you guys know, I've got 240 gallons worth of aquascaped glory. I love this aquarium. This aquarium's been with me for a really long time. Before anybody asks, it is 96 inches long, otherwise known as 8 feet. It is 24 inches tall, or 2 feet tall, and it is 24 inches front to back. This is probably long-standing my most favoritist aquarium. Although realistically, I do have to admit that the 120 footprint, if this comes in at a second, the 120 footprint is coming in at the first. And I'm blessed to have an amazing partner in life, a partner in crime, a partner that is growing a baby of ours inside her, and all of the crazy amounts of work that she does, highlighted by one of the roofers that came today to do a bid. He literally asked me, because we went into the upper crawl space, right? And he was like, "Did somebody vacuum in here?" He's like, "This is the cleanest I have ever seen anything like this." And I was like, yes, somebody literally cleaned this whole area, and her name is Victoria. Speaking of her and why I was talking about her, it is the newest aquarium that we have is of the 120 footprint, and now I'm freaking out because I don't know if I want to get rid of the 240 and get some more 120s. I don't know. I'm going to have to make up my mind, but it is going to be a constant stressor to try and figure that out. They are obviously not cheap. They're not a cheap aquarium to get made or buy or anything like that. So I haven't had any of the money to do that or anything like that. And Vicky went ahead and ordered one to get made. So we're going to be moving the reef. We're not going to be doing any... we're going to be doing some aquascaping in the reef style. But yes, I'm very blessed to have somebody like Vicky in my life where she's just like, yeah, let's just order one. Let's just get one of those. And she's a gangster. She works super hard, and big props to her. But the 240, I've just rambled on, and I'm not really sure if I ever even walked back to what I was talking about. But the 240 has followed me around for many, many years. I love this aquarium. But this is what happens when I don't get my hands in here for a couple of weeks. that Pogostemon stellatus, I have a monster pile of it. I could probably fill up the back of a pickup truck. I mean, proverbially, not really, but I have a monster pile of Pogostemon. You know what I'm saying? So I got a ton of it trimmed out of there today, and this is kind of the walkthrough video of some of the maintenance that I have to do to this aquarium to keep it looking nice, keep it looking fresh, pop its collar, you know what I'm saying? Keep it looking good, you know, and all that kind of jazz. I mean, that's really the trick, is that you just have to get in here. You have to get in here and get this stuff going, and that's what really needed doing. I would have trimmed this like a week ago, but since I was gone, I came back and I'm having to wrap up all the stuff that I was doing before, or I had to wrap up all the stuff that's basically just been sitting for a week. And honestly, the aquariums can just kind of chill. I mean, they're so heavily planted. It's not really an issue. I never get ammonia. I never get nitrite in these aquariums. It's just so rare. One of the offsides is that you'll notice in here is a little bit of cladophora of the hair algae, basically, that I got going on in here, some of the string algae. And at some point in time, I'll do a highlight video. So this is one of the downsides of one of the things that I've been doing in this aquarium. And so basically what I did is I took a Marimo moss ball and completely like broke it up into the sump, right? To sort of seed the rest of the aquarium. And I wouldn't necessarily recommend anybody out there trying this, but it has been working pretty well to grow a lot of it onto the driftwood. It makes it all hairy and kind of funky, but as you can see here, it has overrun the physcidins, so I'm having to remove a bunch of that, get it out. I have to get this this piece of driftwood that's here in the right hand side. That's this like physcidins tree. It does have to get moved out of there because there's just not enough flow for it back here. One of the issues with physcidins is you don't want a ton of flow on it, but you do want some subtle, consistent flow on your physcidins to keep it looking really nice and not accumulate algae and stuff like that. Whereas where it's at right now, it's just getting light beamed on it and just growing algae off of it, which sucks because it's not really a plant that you can clean the algae off of it and just let it keep going. Once you pull in the algae, it's just you're going to pull the plant too. So it's not the best thing in the world, but that's life. That's life with an aquarium like this and just keeping the system running. We're starting to accumulate some super chats, so let me I got to click this thing. Let me get to these super chats real quick. Whoa. Oops, I hit the table. Sorry about that, guys. LG3 Nation with a $2 super chat saying, do all dying leaves in aquariums release tannins? The answer to that, no. You're looking for very specific leaves. So if you want them dried out, you essentially want dried out leaves. So let's say if you had some dead leaves in your aquarium, you could take them out, let them completely dry and like turn completely brown and crispy. Then you could probably add those back into the aquarium and probably get some tannins, but you're looking for a specific thing. You know, the catappa leaves are quite good, almond leaves, oak leaves, stuff like that. That's basically the stuff that you're looking for, but just make sure that it's completely dried before you do that. You probably could dry out some java fern and stuff like that and maybe get a little bit of tannins and things, but not necessarily, it's not necessarily going to be like that great. It's not going to be that great for it. Anything that is dying of your plants in the aquarium, you want to just go ahead and take those out because that's most likely just going to compound, negative effects in your aquarium, it being a closed system. Rumbus is here saying, hi all, have not made any live streams for a while. I've been watching though. Oh, Rumbust, one of our longtime fans. I appreciate it. I appreciate people that watch it later. I appreciate people that watch it live, man. It's all good. It's all good. Some people got different schedules than everybody else. Dave B with a $20 super chat saying, with a camera strap fund. Well, thank you. I appreciate that very much. That's super generous, man. And we will definitely... I'll definitely be putting that toward a camera strap because I think I'm just gonna have to replace this one I ordered, which kind of sucks. But you know, Johnny Zalaz says, "Why is the 120 footprint your favorite tank? That 2 foot by 4 foot by 2 foot. It's just the best, in my opinion, to scape. It's just like the perfect amount of space to scape in. It's just my favorite. And aesthetically, the tank just sitting there by itself looks great. You probably could make one that was 2 foot by 1 foot by 1 foot. That's like the Flex. What is that? That's like the Fluval makes a Flex now. That's sort of like that. And it looks cool. It looks great, but it's just not. It doesn't hit that. It doesn't hit that high note. When I see it in my brain, I don't think like, wow, I got to get that thing. I got to get that going. But when I see a 120, I'm like, yep, perfect. Let's go. That really is just, it's very kind of difficult to explain, but it's like, it's just enough, front to back. It's just enough side to side, and it's just enough height. Like, it's not too tall either. So I just love that footprint, and like I said earlier, I've got an awesome spouse who just ordered us one. So I get lucky. I'm lucky enough to be able to just work with one. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just gonna be able to set that thing up and be like, oh man, check out this beautiful tank in my fish room that I'm taking care of. That's not mine, but I'm gonna make videos of it and stuff like that. You guys will be able to check that out. Schwisky throwing down with the so Flex 30. I do like the Flex 30. I do like the Fluval Flex, but if you're talking about a 120 versus the Fluval Flex, I mean, all day, every day, I'm going with the 120. Plus, I don't think Fluval had any intentions of sending me one or something like that. Maybe they did. I would scape it, but I've got my eyes on the prize to get more 120s for my fish room, so I think I'm just going to keep focusing on that. And I really haven't seen anybody that really makes them. You know what I mean? Like, I did find, like, what was it? I think it was Glass Cages, I think. Hold on. GlassCages.com. Let's go look at your website. Let's see here. Yes, acrylic aquariums, and then I think it was under commercial aquariums. Let's see. Nope. Nope, I don't see it here. Let me see. Where was it? Okay, let's just go to standard acrylic aquariums. Maybe it's under the regular one. Acrylic, yes. Why is that a glass? They're showing a glass tank on their acrylic. Okay. What is this, rookie amateur hour over here? Oh, there it is. So there's the 120 from Glass Cages. That's $1,135, which is more expensive than the one that we just got. I will tell you that. What's this? That is more expensive than the one we got. But we got ours from a local builder, very trusted guy. Does a bunch of awesome builds and stuff like that. And he did an awesome build on this 120. It looks dynamite. I can't wait to show it to you guys. But Schwisky says scape off with Aqua Pros, me and Schwisky. Let's go. Hey, I'm in for that. Aqua Pros says a $5 grand prize. I think when I win, I think my winning should be, I'm going to go with an iced latte. And I'm not just talking about no ghetto iced latte. I'm looking for a nice place that has some distressed wood around, maybe some furniture made out of old rusty pipes. You know what I mean? Some guy with a neck tattoo that's like, it says like coffee is life on his neck or something like that. That's who I'm looking for. A guy with the big hoop earrings, you know what I mean? And he's like dreadlocks, and he's growing his own beans out on a mountainside, and he comes down to his hipster cafe, right? and then and like hand grinds the beans and stuff. That's what I'm talking about. I want a tall latte when I win this scape off. And don't be tripping, because I'm going to be winning. But by the way, you guys, I do have another faux 120 that I got. I recently picked up from a local guy, of which I'm working on rehabbing it, cleaning it up. I'll show you guys how I'm going to clean that up, and then I'm going to be scaping that aquarium where the reef is. Once the reef comes out, and I think that's realistically what's going to happen. I think the 60 cube and that aquarium are going to go where the reef is, which ultimately I think is probably the way to go with the setup of the fish room at this point, which will give me another freshwater option to be kind of messing around with. And I think in the meantime, it wouldn't be that big of a stressor thing. If I can book a couple of jobs, I might be able to save up enough money and book and maybe get a couple more 120s for the fish room. But you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Maybe one of those sponsors is going to come through and they're going to be like, hey, man, we'll send you the 120s. You never know. And they're like, we just want you to make aquascaping videos nonstop. And I'll be like, let's do this. Oh, my God. And then I'll just be making aquariums. I don't even have a shell dweller tank right now, which kind of sucks. But I'm thinking that might be one of the future ideas I got with the 60 gallon, that cube that I got. I'm thinking that might end up becoming a shell dweller with an upper with like an upper plant growing area. I got some ideas how I want to do a big shelf, and it escapes me right now who it was, but somebody gave me some extra bags. Where did that go? I gotta find it here. Somebody gave me some extra bags of EcoComplete, which I think would end up going into that project. I think that's what I got going on. Who was it? They dropped it off in person, and where did it go? Do. You know what? I don't know where it went. I had the email, and now it's gone. Where did it go? This is a really good part of the show, you guys, where I talk about how I can't see where the email went. You know, I'm cognizant of the fact that this part is super boring when I'm trying to summon up who it was. Can't say who it was. I don't know at this point. Shoot. I hate it when I can't give people props about who it was that dropped it off. Bentley Pascal says B-Rad is picking up his Shelleys tomorrow. He's also picking up my Crebensis. So I've got a bunch of Crebensis here that B-Rad's going to be picking up. He's going to be grabbing those and taking them back to do more breeding with them, more specifically at his place in his fish room. And I do intend on going up to Bentley's tomorrow to film his fish room and kick a few things around and see what he's got going on in there. I'm super excited for all these new plants that I got. I really want to get those in. I want to get those in and get those planted. Right now, I've just got them good and floating. They're starting to drop roots and doing real well, so they're getting ready to be planted. If anyone's confused what I'm talking about, if you guys go out there, which I highly recommend to do, make some connections locally, find some other people that are bringing in cool plants and stuff. You can definitely find some really good deals locally with local like plant breeders. Is it plant breeder? Is that right? Plant growers and fish breeders. Shrimp breeders, whatever. Always find somebody local. That's always a great way to go. You're going to save a lot of money. You're going to find some good stuff. Now, the one downside with getting plants from most locals is that you're going to get those trims, right? You're going to get that trimming stuff, like how I'm trimming the Pogostem installatus right here. And one of the downsides with that is if you go from the same tank and replant them, normally not a problem. But taking them out of a tank, putting them in new water conditions, new light conditions, stuff like that, I always recommend to float them for like a week. And that doesn't mean like float them right at the top. That normally, what I do is I put a weight on them, and my electrical tester is going off in my pocket. This is like rookie amateur hour around here. Sorry, guys. But I've got just the little faux lead weights for the plants. You know, pack them up like that, drop them into your aquarium, and let them throw down some roots and stuff once they've kind of adapted to your water. Normally only takes about a week. It's not really that big of a deal. You just have to have a little bit of patience, and then I find that your rate of your percentage of success with that plant goes way up in the conversion from tank to tank, and it works out pretty well in my experience for sure. We got some super chats here piling up. Let's get those real quick. Barbara Jackson with a $5 super chat says, "What about dried camellia leaves, non-sprayed?" Camellia? I don't know what the camellias are. They're found in eastern and central. That one I don't know. Tea is a camellia plant. Or avocado leaves. Okay, so the camellia, camellia, am I saying that right? I'm probably saying it completely wrong. And there's going to be a bunch of people out there that are like, ugh, this guy's an idiot. But this plant, I do not know. I have seen this flower for sure. This is one that I would normally go to Vicky. I would normally go to Vicky for this one. But it is from the Theaceae family, so I would say no, to just err on the side of caution. I would definitely have to look into it. I would definitely have to look into that one. But almond leaves, yes. Avocado leaves, yes. I've seen lots of people do that before. I don't have access to almond leaves avocado. Yeah, get it in your brain there. Okay, there we go. Avocado leaves I don't have access to on a regular basis. Nowadays, the easiest thing that I do is that I just go straight to the aquarium coop. I go straight to the aquarium coop because he's got the little 10 packs of catappa leaves that are all dried out individually, and that's where I go now and pick those up. They're pretty cheap. It's not an overwhelming price or anything like that, but I get it. You might not be cool with the shipping, but I used to just get them off of an Amazon link, and sometimes they were free. Let me see if I can't find that Amazon link real quick for you guys. But catappa leaf for aquarium, Indian almond leaf. Where's the company I normally got them from? Is this them? I think this is them. Yeah. Tantora. Copy. And then I'm going to bring it over here. Capoozle. And by the way, whoever ordered a aquarium chiller through my Amazon link, salute to you. Salute to you, America. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. My Amazon links have always just been slowly dying. And somebody ordered an aquarium chiller off of there the other day, and it was like, oh, these Amazon links are coming back to life. I mean, I just figured it was summertime, and people ain't really buying anything during the summertime. Although I do need to buy a new camera strap, so that'll probably happen. That stupid... That expensive camera strap just broke, like, right out the gate. I basically got it out of the box. I mean, I took it out of the box yesterday. I kind of fiddled around with it, and then today I got the thing to, like, be working, and the piece of metal just snapped right off of there. What a disaster. I'm probably going to send a note to the seller, if that's even possible these days. Who knows? Who knows if you can even do that anymore? I don't know. Hold on, let me check here. Because I can return or replace items. I can leave seller feedback. Oh, wait, maybe I can do that. Maybe I could just tell him that this thing sucks and it broke. Oh, come on now. I guess I'm not signed in. Do you guys sometimes get like super depressed because you don't want to actually sign in to your account? I don't know. Is that a sign that I might be dying or something? I might be dying or something. It's ridiculous that I would be depressed about signing into my account. Right? But to quickly answer Barbara Jackson's question that I somehow turned into a half an hour diatribe of nothing, almond leaves cool, avocado leaves cool also. Brotherly Brother 11, Pogostemon helferi, carpet plant. That's not Pogostemon. That's not Pogostemon in there. That's stargrass. That's Pogostemon stellatus, the real tall one that I'm trimming. I might do helferi at some point in time. That's one of those plants that just has a tendency to irritate me really well. But the 240 actually is set up for success with that plant. I just haven't seen it pop up very often. I haven't seen it pop up available either locally or anything like that. I just don't see it very often because it doesn't ship very well. So, you know, because of the fact that it doesn't ship very well, there's not a lot of people shipping it around. So I just haven't seen it, and I haven't had it in a very long time. But it is one that frustrated me. If I was to give somebody a little bit of advice, you definitely want to go with one of the more iron-rich red type substrates. You know, something like something that's laterite rich is going to be your best bet long term to go with. All right, we got another super chat here from Alyssa Bentley with a question on it. It's hard to not answer these questions because they pop up and they're brightly colored. How religiously would you strip bark from dried, trimmed oak branches before putting them into the aquarium? Well, with oak, you definitely want to make sure that it is super dried out. I almost would be more concerned about drying it out even further than really being that worried about stripping the bark off. The oak bark, as far as off the top of my head, the oak bark shouldn't have anything weird in it. I don't think so. But typically I'll take the bark off because it's just kind of a disaster over time because a lot of fish and stuff like that, it can just kind of just be a mess. I mean, it can just really end up with a dirty mess in your tank because fish, shrimp, all that kind of stuff will tear at it. And it just ends up kind of like wherever you don't want to be. Ultimate Fish Keeping Show is asking, Joel, are you feeling stressed? Sometimes when you're stressed, it can affect your motivation to do something. Yeah, I just don't really want to. I don't know that I'm stressed out right now. I would just say I don't really want to sign into my Amazon because I'm not even going to type over there on that computer. So I was just saying, like, come on, man. I don't want to have to actively sign in right now. Just sign in there to see if I can leave the feedback thing. That's all I was wanting to do. It's like, is it there? I don't know. Maybe not. Jad Orsi showing up super late, but with the apologies, so that's all right. Good to see you. Thanks for coming out today. Madfish Diva, Planches Mine at Daniel. What does Danielle ask? Daniel Scary. I always say your name wrong. I know it. You know it. We all know it. Says cucumber for plecos. How do people prepare it or wash it? I normally just remove the seeds out the middle, and then take the skin off and just give them that little meaty part that they like to eat. Because it seems to me that the skin will end up floating around in there, and the seeds will end up floating around in there. So I just remove those ahead of time, and that's typically the part that they want to eat. So I just give them the part that they want to eat, and then once they got what they want to eat, they eat it, and then I don't have to go back in there and take anything out. Kevin Keener's off topic. Am I using the same sump for the 75 on the new 120? Absolutely not. The sump off of the 180 gallon is what's going to go from the reef to the reef. Just basically the reef is getting moved. Daniel, scary. Okay, got it. But the reef is going to be moving to the new tank. It's going to take all of the sump stuff and everything from the reef is going to go right over there, and that's what's going to get plumbed in to the brand new tank, which I'm super excited. That is for sure. I'm excited. Daniel Scary saying no need to boil with the cucumber. No, cucumber, zucchini, none of that stuff. Doesn't need to be boiled. I say with small fish, carrots need to be blanched a little bit. Green beans need to be blanched a little bit. Peas, not so much, but it's kind of hard. It's harder for them to get into them if you don't break them open. So what I normally do with peas is I'll just like pop them open and then throw away the skin. I'll just pop it open and throw away the skin. Does that make sense if I just say that? I'll probably make a video about how to do that. And then I'll just like mash it up into a little bit like of a paste ball kind of thing, and then just drop that in there. They end up eating it, and it kind of just goes away, and it works out. With bigger fish, I just feed them the whole pea. They don't seem to care. But like the giant pacu we used to take care of, ate nothing but baby carrots like a monster. It ate nothing but baby carrots. It didn't want to eat anything else except baby carrots. That's all it ever wanted to eat. Raw. And just hammered them down. Loved baby carrots. And it was apparently the only thing it had ever been fed its entire life. It was an orphan fish that came into the store. Daniel's asking, blanched, is that boil? Yes, blanched would be you quickly boil, not for very long. You pretty much just boil it, then put it into cool water to stop the cooking. Gone Mad is asking, hey Joel, can I plug my Snapchat if I post? I post a lot of tank stuff on there. It's easy, and I can't bring myself to do a YouTube video. A great spot for that would be like the Patreon. The Patreon will let you do that on the community tabs. So people that become a Patreonizer, it is a great spot to go up into the community, post your YouTube page, maybe post your Snapchat, post pictures of stuff that you're taking. If you're not somebody that wants to do video or anything like that, maybe you're like just a photographer. Maybe you're somebody with just a, like me back in the day, having an iPod back in 2004, and I'd take pictures with my iPod and post them up onto the forums and stuff like that. That is a spot also. So if you are a Patreonizer, that is a great spot to do it. You go over to Patreon, sign up for your account. I understand it. It is $1 a month. I guess that's the minimum. But links do not work very well into the YouTube chat if you're sending them to somewhere else. Realistically, it's not that great. It's not that great to post external links into YouTube, and the Snapchat ones normally get moderated out. So I don't know, just by the robots. Let's see. Lowlife said to post nudes there. No, don't post nudes there. They'll just get deleted. And I don't feel like moderating nasty pictures of people that haven't been through any kind of screening process. Like if you want to do that kind of stuff, just go pro. Somebody will pay you to do it. And wherever your content comes out, it will be embraced by the people that wanted it. And that's not people on the Patreon. People on the Patreon want to talk about fish tanks, maybe cameras, maybe some other stuff, and things that are going on. Maybe they have a building project, like M. Howie 9. He's building his barn into a new fish room, which is exciting. And I think it's cool, and I think it's fantastic. You know what I mean? Sandy Morris says, I had no idea you could see what we order via your Amazon link. I need the chiller for my axolotls that I got from the amazing Greg Jones. I can't see who ordered what. That's the thing. If you do go through the Amazon link, it's just the affiliate link. It just says that I'm sending traffic to Amazon. but it lets me know quantity and what people ordered, right? So it just basically, that's all it tells me. It just says whether or not something was ordered or not and what it was. It just gives me the link for that because so their thought process behind it is like if somebody that like, okay, here's the deal. Like if somebody ordered something that I was somehow related to or whatever, right? So like let's say the Oceaneers ordered something, some other person that's involved in our group might want that link. So I just basically, they send me the links, right, to what people have ordered. And if I wanted to share those out with you guys, then I could do that. There's not that many people that are in the market for a chiller, so I don't know. I haven't shared it out yet, but it doesn't tell me who ordered anything. It just says how many things have been ordered. There have been some, only a couple of super racy things have showed up on there. Over the years, only a couple of crazy things have showed up. Like, that is a very interesting pastime that you might be into, kind of stuff. Pretty rarely, but a lot of the stuff on there, people are just kind of cognizant that they're gonna go shop from Amazon, and they'll just go to like Darkstar and go through the affiliate link and just be like, oh, I was just gonna order stuff anyhow. I might as well go through this portal, and it just says that I sent you. It doesn't really matter what you order on Amazon. It just kicks back this, like, what is it? How much is it? Hold on, let me see. What's the percentage? It's like a seventh. What is that? 1/7% or something like that. 1.7. That's what it is. So, it's not like a massive thing or anything like that. But it is helpful and it is real cool. And I just basically put it towards products to do stuff here. Like I needed to order more SD cards because you guys, one thing that I'm really excited about. Okay, so I think everybody's seen all the aquascaping stuff. I got a couple things over here. Snapchat, or not Snapchat, Super Chat. But we'll get to that in just a second. But something I am super excited about for our continued production. We got ourselves a Zoom recorder, you guys. So I'm going to be able to mic people up now. It took this long to get to this point where I could just order one. And I mean, let's be honest here. Part of the learning process is going out into the field and going, yeah, man, I've got mic on my camera and all that kind of stuff. It'll work great. It's sort of only kind of working great. Schwisky just said he ordered the wrong flashlight. Well, I ordered the wrong camera strap that freaking broke. So anybody out there, don't order this camera strap because the Quick Connect down here, I mean, it seems to be working right now because it doesn't have a camera on it, but this thing does not lock and stay in place. Like, that thing just snapped immediately, which I'm going to be honest with you guys. I still am happy that it broke here at home and not like out on the road and send my camera flying. So I'm not upset by that. It just kind of sucks that it was like $40 down the drain, but I think I'll use this. I think I've kind of figured it out like during the show. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and throw this away and go ahead and utilize the strap because the strap portion is really comfortable. I like the buckles and the adjuster on it is dope. Look at that. That's pretty good, and it locks into place. So I think I'm going to utilize it. I think I just have to get rid of the quick release thing and just figure it out from there. You know what I mean? I think that's just how it's going to have to be. And maybe someday I'll be able to find a camera strap that actually just that is really good. We'll see. We'll figure it out. You guys. But we do have a couple super chats here real quick I want to hit. Vexing Cat with the 7-Eleven super chat. Thank you very much. I think that's a call to, this is episode 711. I have no idea what is going on anymore with the numbering on on my videos anymore because I think if we go over here, hold on, load, hello, load. Oh, this thing is not loading very fast right now. There we go. Oh, get fresh. Let's go to the Creator Studio. Then we'll go over here to this button right here. Click on that button right there. Oh, people are already disliking the 4th of July. That's a record level of dislikes on the 4th of July. We are up to 792 videos. So I don't even know. This isn't even episode 711 anymore. So I don't even know what's going on. I just started numbering these at whatever point, and now it's just like it's a million miles off. But I'm just going to keep going with the episode number so that people can keep it straight. Is that weird? I don't know. Tell me if that's weird and I should maybe do it a different way. I don't know. I was doing the dates for a long time, but the dates was becoming super confusing to people. They were trying to figure that out. So, I don't know. Maybe, I don't know. I have no answer. I have no answer right now, and I'm completely talking about something I have no answer for. Yay. Let's go into the other super chat here. mhowie9 with a $5 for $5 super chat for the tip jar. Thank you very much, my guy. Hopefully I get to see you guys soon because we're going to be out in Minnesota fairly soon. We're going to be in Minnesota. Dan Squires is about to have a heart attack if you guys don't hit the like button. And the last thing that we want around here is Dan Squires to have a heart attack, you guys. If you want these episodes to come out as a podcast, you better hit the like button or Dan Squires will keel over dead of a heart attack, and then we will never be able to do this as a podcast. You know? And then we will never be able to do this as a podcast. Because Dan is essential to be able to getting this out as a podcast. So hit that like button, and then he'll be okay after that. We had Rogue Aquariums with the $1.99 super chat saying $5. I haven't seen that one yet. That's some trickeration. I like it. That's definitely funny and appreciate it. Thank you very much. Thanks, Rogue Aquariums. Let's see. All right, moving on to the next segment of the day. Yeah, Dan says we're halfway there. Whoa! Hit the like button. Is that what happened? Oh my God. During the show, you guys, we got a brand new patronizer. We got a brand new patronizer during the show. We got a brand new patronizer this morning. We got a brand new patronizer this morning also. We got a brand new patronizer yesterday. Johnny Zelaya coming in today during the show. Much appreciate it. Ryan Avery coming in this morning, I think. Or last night. I'm not sure. Thank you, Ryan. Jonathan P. Wardrip. Up in the ante. He upped the ante. He upped the ante from $1 to $5. Look at that. That's also one of the cool things about the Patreon is that you can change how much you want to do whenever you want. You know, so if you were somebody that was at $10 and you feel like, hey, I'm only getting $1 worth of quality around here. This guy sucks. I'm gonna go down to $1. I understand, and it's fully understandable. It is once a week, right? Or not once a week. It's once a month when the charge goes out. So I feel like that's pretty cool with the monthly charge and all that stuff. I think it just everything about it just kind of works out pretty rad. We had Eric brand new, which nowhere. Okay, Eric's new, but he's back. But he's new, but he's back. Shh, it's all good. Matthew Cloyd coming in brand new. And Peter Hansen coming in brand new. Derek coming in brand new. G. Cunningham coming in brand new. Sarah's Little Fishes, as always, still being awesome. I almost read the pledged part. It's like amateur hour over here. Aqua Freedom coming in this month. Joe Andrioli just doing a slight edit, and Luke Koken. Man, that's crazy awesome. Thanks, guys. That's totally cool. You know, the more we get rocking and rolling here, the better we're doing, and the better we're going to be able to keep going and just keep making more stuff. More videos. Running around and doing stuff. Martin's Tank Talk says, greetings. Alyssa Bentley says, D from Brooklyn, easy to find a stage, difficult to get people to listen. Uh-oh, what happened? What happened to D? Oh, I need a stage to sing on? Yeah, no, I don't need a stage to sing on. We're just here on the internet, you guys. If I go to a stage, that means everybody has to drive their cars around and stuff. In the meantime, we're right here on the internet, and we'll be able to bring it to you live throughout the world. Tampa Tom says, keep using the numbers. It works for the UFC. Tampa Tom brings up a great point. It is one of the few things when I'm out there in the field talking to CEOs, like if we go to a convention that's like a trade convention and we're talking to the higher ups at shows and stuff, I talk to them about stuff and their eyes just spin around like pinwheels. Like they just have no idea what's going on. A lot of these people are just a million miles out of touch with the world. And I don't blame them because there's realistically, like, you have to think about it. A guy that's 75 years old and makes $1 million a year or whatever the number is. I'm not claiming anybody is a certain age or makes a certain amount of money, but I'm just saying that a guy that's that old that is just financially a million miles secure and all that kind of stuff, what's their motivation to learn, right? What's their motivation to learn about YouTube or advertising or any of that kind of stuff at that point? It's just not a motivation that they have. I've met a lot of people that they're just like, huh? But when I show them the Patreon, they go, oh, okay. You know, it's like when I show them that straight up, like, here's how many people are down with helping keep my show on the air, right? They are just like, it just clicks in their head. They go, oh, okay. Now that makes sense. Maybe this is a guy that we should try to do something with. Maybe. Now they might be right. They might be wrong. I don't know. But it just seems to be that is the thing. That is the bridge in between those dudes and like understanding what is going on. We've got a $5 super chat from our good friend 54 Punchy here. Says to help out so you don't need to sing. Well, don't. Okay, I mean, I don't have to. Maybe it's just so you tell me not to, I guess. It is Friday, though. We should all be excited. We got a $4.99 super chat from Doug Stanton. Says, thanks for all the info. I got good reading skills over here. Thanks for all the good info you put out, and Corey from Aquarium Co-op helped me a lot in this hobby. You're very welcome. It is my pleasure. I'm honestly, it's my pleasure to be able to be here. I'm 100% blessed to be able to try and help people out, explain stuff that may or may not be confusing people, or just be mildly entertaining to the point where people pay me money to stop singing. Right? I think that's quality entertainment right there. It's like, hey man, shut up. Here's $5. Of which I think is hilarious, and I'm into it, and I think it's pretty funny, you know. And 54 Punchy is a longtime fan and a longtime awesome. By the way, check out her art if you ever get a chance, because her art blows mine out of the water. This stupid fish, I haven't even worked on this fish painting here in forever, and it's been in my background. I wish I could get to work on it and do stuff, but I got to go up on the roof and climb around in the attic and do stuff so that I can install a giant fart fan for my lady. You heard it here. I see my man Schwisky yelling about let's go Stipe. Is Stipe fighting Daniel Cormier, right? Cormier, Stipe, right? UFC something. Daniel Cormier heavier than Stipe Miocic for title headliner. Well, let's see. I think that's what it is, right? Is that what's going on here? Right. Oh, there's a problem loading that page because I don't have a thing to that. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's tonight. Tomorrow? When is that? Saturday. So that's tomorrow. Okay. Yeah. Just to be a jerk, I'm going to say I'm going for Daniel Cormier. Just because I think it's... Yeah, I'm a fan of the UFC. I guess I'm a fan of the, jiu-jitsu and martial arts and all that stuff, but I never watch them live. I just never really do. All right. Now, to get back to some of the contextual stuff that's going on around here. Ooh, you guys. Just that moment where you got to peel that little plastic off, right? That little protective plastic right off of there. Oh, I love being able to do that. Here we go. Oh, yeah. What am I holding up here, you guys? What is this? Do you know what this is? All right. I'll explain what this is. This is a trail cam, you guys. This is a trail cam that you put up on a tree. It's going to be motion detected. It's going to be some action. It will take pictures in the night of whatever is eating our broccoli. Okay? Now, where did this come from? This came from our lovely, awesome possum fan, the Vexing Cat. She was in the chat earlier. I don't know if she left. Hopefully she's here. There's that awesome trail cam, right? And this is awesome, and we're going to have so much fun shooting goofy stuff. Once we find out who's in the garden, once we find out who's eating stuff in the garden, then we're going to get to have some fun with this, because we're going to be able to record some goofy nonsense. That is for sure. So, Vexing Cat, thank you very much. This came in. I did have to make an extra trip to go pick it up yesterday, but it was well worth it because I'm excited for this trail cam. Super awesome. And if you think this isn't an awesome present, it's very well appreciated. This is great. I didn't even think about getting a trail cam to find out what's going on. Or maybe I thought about it. I mean, maybe I considered it, but I was just like, I can't afford to really do much about it. I'm not going to go get one. And honestly, I think this is going to be some great content. I think realistically, at the very least, it's going to be great content to find out who's out there, who's eating the broccoli. Then, I'm telling you, this is going to be some shenanigan type stuff. I'm thinking at some point, somebody's getting hit over the head with some flour and stuff like that. So I'm super stoked. I'm super stoked to play around with this. Oh gosh, it has a power in, so maybe I don't have to use batteries for it. I can just set it up. Yeah, I can just set it up with the power. Wait. Yes. So I need a 6 volt 2 amp plug. Okay. I can make this happen, you guys. I can make this happen without having to use all the batteries. The one downside is that this does take a lot of batteries, which isn't that big of a deal. I mean, typically this would be out in the woods where it's super far away, but, I mean, if I'm just going to have it out back, I could probably just power it. I'm sure I have that power adapter in my big giant bin of power wires. I could definitely find one. Oh, my neck. My back. It's killing me. And on the upside, nobody even noticed I got a haircut today, so it's working. Although, I don't know why I'm all shiny today. I think it's because I was out in the sun so much yesterday. I just got all shiny today. But I did see Tank Tested. Where did Tank test it? Someone's got a fancy camera trap. That's right. I see Tank Tested. Alex, good to see you. If you haven't checked out any of Alex's videos on Tank Tested, I certainly would. We got a $1.99 super chat from Rogue Aquariums. Thank you very much, my guy. Appreciate it. Fishy Mailman is here. Ooh, how's it going? Been in the mid-90s for about a month now with a few 100-plus days. It has been ridiculously hot out, you guys. I don't know. I don't know. This might be one of those points in time in history where we like remember saying like, oh, it's so hot out in 2018, and then the world came to an end. And then we're like, oh, yeah, remember how nice it was in 2018? It was just hot. There wasn't locusts in our eyes or anything like that. Frank Dominguez, along with Rogue Aquariums, a couple other people saying, you guys can't steal any more vegetables anymore. That's right. I mean, I do have like the security cameras and the alarm and all that kind of stuff, but we don't have anything on the garden because I really wasn't that concerned about anybody that was going to steal vegetables. I mean, if that was to happen, you would get caught on camera, but I mean, I hardly would like review all that for somebody stealing broccoli. You know what I mean? 54 Punchy says it's 86 there, but there's a breeze blowing. Megan Ness says update on Victoria. Victoria was on the show on Wednesday on the 4th of July, which got the most dislikes in a long, long time out of any videos. So I would highly encourage the Oceaneers to go over there, watch that episode. I thought it was pretty good. It was fantastic. It was fun to have her on. So the update will be on that. And I would you go check that out. Maybe go over there and hit the like button. Otherwise, she might notice that there's so many dislikes on there, and it might make her a little bit paranoid about her position. Martin Tank Talk was saying, I see you have an H1. This is the H1N. Oh, it's the brand new one. It was only $8 more than the older one. And it's smaller. I have noticed that this one is much smaller than the other one. I was considering getting the little field mic ones, but those have a tendency to just like blow out the audio quite a bit. And Jimmy and I have messed with... So Jimmy's messed with this a ton. I've messed with it with those guys a few times, and it definitely puts out really good audio. So you just need to make sure you get yourself a separate mic for it. You can also use the mic on top, and this will actually help me get a secondary audio all the time too, so that I have like another audio to work with that isn't just going straight into the camera. But the biggest thing I think this is going to be useful for is going out and like interviewing people like Tom Barr or Chris Lukup. I can just mic them up, and then I can be on the camera mic and then ask them questions and that kind of stuff, and then get their audio and add it in, in post, like adding it in. So I think that's going to bring a lot to the table as far as like my production goes, which it took me a long time to get to this point to just go ahead and like, just pull the trigger and order one of those, but that's just the kind of the nature of the beast. That's how it's been going down. But let's get to the Patreon questions before we run out of time, you guys, because we went to the video early. Oh, that's the video one. Whoops. Yeah, you guys remember that video from earlier? That's the same one. Yeah, we don't have a new one or nothing. I don't know if you guys like the video or not. We'll see. Somebody will comment about it later, and we'll all have a good laugh. As I mentioned earlier, Mike Howie, mhowie9, is working on his barn renovation that's turning into a fish room, and this is rad, you guys. And I know I talked about this before because it has the heart on it. So, as I go through the stuff on the Patreon, I click the heart so that I know where it's my placekeeper. So if you guys post stuff up on there and you're like, oh man, he hasn't liked it yet, That's why I don't hit the like button anymore, because I try to do it on the show so I know what's going on. But I just had to highlight this again, and you guys can check out his YouTube channel on the playlist here of all the crazy stuff that's been going into that fish barn, and I'm excited to see that thing come into fruition and get up and running and get all those tanks in there. Like, it's gonna be awesome. So if you guys want to follow along with me, maybe you can follow along with me. I don't know. A lot of people tell me these days that they don't have time. A lot of people keep telling Corey and I, we don't have time for your long format show, okay? I don't have time for it, which is weird, because it's like, if you don't have time for the long format show, why are you here telling me about it? You know? like if you're so busy that you don't have time to like listen to an audio-based show, like, how are they there commenting about it? Like, you have time to like write up comments and stuff like that, but you don't have time to listen to a show. Cool. Anyhow, that's what the Real Fish Talk is for. If anybody is super concerned, or maybe you're confused or that kind of stuff, yes, we have guests on there from time to time, but it basically is, it's like Corey and I's podcast. Like, it's like our podcast thing. It's 2 hours long. It's once a week on Tuesdays. And, yeah. So if there is any confusion, that's how it is. You know, as people are like, man, you guys are rambling on. It's like, well, we set aside 2 hours to do that show, right? And that's what we do. And, you know, sometimes we go off on tangents, talk about all sorts of stuff, but I think it's fun. Corey thinks it's fun, and we're going to keep doing it if it's fun. And I think it's going pretty well. Oh, I'm back. Okay, sorry about that. Kyra Wittenauer. I really hope I got that one right, because I read it like 4 times. Kyra Wittenauer. Kyra Wittenauer says, how would you go about changing the background on a 55-gallon tall? It was spray painted a baby blue, which, by the way, I have dealt with this many, 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 many times. The baby blue background, it drives me insane. I just don't get it, and I've had to do this many times myself. She says, I'm not digging it. I want either a black or a natural-looking background. Easy way to get the spray paint off. And then she said, sorry, tank is glass, by the way. Now, in response to that portion, if it was acrylic, you're going to be having a whole lot of chaos on your hands. But let's just stick to the glass aquarium, because this is something I've done many, many, many times, and I'm confident that most people could do this. So, if you don't have one, you're going to need to go to the hardware store, whatever hardware store it is, and you're going to have to find a paint scraper razor blade thingy. It's like a handle that holds the razor blade perfectly flat and pops up. I couldn't find one to bring in here. I know I'm the owner of them. I went to look for some. Couldn't find one to bring it in, but it's essentially a utility knife, but it sends the razor blade out like straight and flat like this, and then it has a handle on it. It's for janitors to basically get spray paint off of windows and stuff like that. That's gum, whatever, stuff that's stuck on windows. That's basically what it's for. Now, some people put some comments down below here with some advice. Essentially, like, what you want to do is take a spray bottle with water, then scrape it with a razor blade. If you do add the water to it, it makes it much easier, because the paint shavings don't go flying all over the place. It doesn't make it a little easier to get it off and maintain what you're doing. This is essentially the way to go about it. It does take 15, 20 minutes or something like that. It's not going to be a huge amount of time. But you're just going to have to put in the work and scrape it off. Then, in the future, when it comes time to paint the background, here's the best option that I have found that is currently available to most people, and that would be Flexi Seal. It's as seen on TV. You guys can find it. You don't want the spray paint kind. Even though the spray paint kind will work, you don't want it, because they now sell a canned liquid kind. They sell the can of liquid rubberized waterproofing, right? That's the tape. Whoops. And here it is. I got us a link. I got us a link from Amazon. Now, they sell it in white, black, gray, some other colors. I don't know. I would highly recommend the black. Personally, I like the black background. That's kind of my favorite. Though I am a little bit intrigued to be doing some white backgrounds at some point in time in the future. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I am kind of intrigued on doing some work with some white backgrounds at some point in time. But this is what I would use. There's the link in the chat to paint the background black. When it comes time to take it off in the future, you'll notice the big giant advantage of using this Flexi Seal stuff. It'll peel right off, right? Works great. Peels right off. You can change it. You can do whatever you want with it. It works fantastically. Moving right along to Kelly Peterson. Says, now that I'm a few months in with my orange Reilly colony, I have these shrimp popping up that are yellow see-through where the normal ones are clear. I'm considering setting up another tank and trying to selectively breed this genetic surprise. I've never run across an orange-yellow Reilly, but it seems interesting. How difficult is selectively breeding shrimp? I know culling is an important part of keeping a good colony, but I'm more curious about setting a color variety. The culling process is exactly what you're going to be doing in order to set up the color variants that you're looking for. Shrimp are essentially like what I would recommend to most people if you are trying to get into some line breeding and stuff like that. I recommend shrimp is going to be the best to start out with and start to learn. You have a pretty wide variance for if you do have mistakes or this or that. Like I'm saying, like the learning curve is pretty smooth. The learning curve is pretty smooth, so it's not that, and plus they breed so fast. So I would definitely recommend doing it with shrimp, but the culling process, look at it this way. You don't need to kill them or do anything like that. You just need to, when you cull them, it means you just move them to another tank. So they're not available for breeding or replicating in the tank that you're line breeding in. A stack of 5 or 6 10-gallon tanks would be like more than enough. You could essentially do it with 2 tanks for sure, depending on how attentive you are to the situation. But I would recommend 3 10-gallon tanks, 320 longs. I don't know. It just depends on which size tanks, how much space you have, and that kind of stuff. But 3 10-gallon tanks is going to be plenty, and you could definitely be coming out with some really cool variant shrimp. You just want to keep culling them, with air quotes, to the other tanks that you don't want these to breed in, and you're going to promote what you're looking for. Yeti Nikes chiming in here, saying, does anybody have any tips for taking apart and rebuilding a 46-gallon bow front? Whew, man, I wish I had some tips and tricks for that. I've taken apart 2 of them and put them back and resealed them and put them back together. I hate bow front tanks, you guys. I'm sorry. I got an itch at one point in time, and I got a bunch of bow fronts, and I ended up getting super, super frustrated with them, mainly because, you can't hardly ever tell what's going on in there. The stands are always weird shaped. There's just so many things that just kind of drive me nuts about bow fronts. If you happen to like them, that's awesome. Kudos. But for me, not that great. But tips and tricks for taking apart and rebuilding a tank. Yes, you want to fully remove all the silicone, completely take the tank apart, and clean all your edges with acetone. Is it acetone or acetate? Acetone? Acetate. Acetone? Acetate. Look that up. Look that up before you do it. But I would say, clean all the edges and rebuild the tank with brand new silicone. Just make sure it's a silicone that doesn't have any antifungals or anything kind of crazy in it like that. And then be sure to cure it for at least a week once it's put together. Let it cure for a week, and hopefully that gets you on track. My big issue with the taking apart and resealing the bow fronts is that bowed piece of glass is like, it's pretty much gonna get broken. Like, if you're not super, super, super careful with that thing, if you lay it flat on the bow, that's not good. If you lay it the other way, that's not good. You have to stand it up, hopefully put it somewhere where you can tape it up and hang it so it's not, it's kind of just it's kind of a disaster, and you could really easily break that glass, and then you're just out the tank. So, personally, like with a bow front, I would just sell it off and move on to something else. Travis Boyette throwing in the before and after. Wait, what? That's a before and after, but it's only one picture. So now I'm confused. And I can't open that. But Travis, a long-time contributor here. I love what he's doing. Always love what you're doing. We should go hang out. Let's do that. Haley Cox throwing down with the mutant Siamese twin guppy lives. Weird, right? Like, look at this thing. This is just a complete and utter mutant fish. I don't understand how it's alive. But nature finds a way, right? Nature finds a way. Kim Yawarski says, Home Depot has aquarium-safe silicone. It's made by DAP. Yeah, I almost always use DAP products. I really like most of the stuff that they make. But Haley Cox, I'm glad to see that guppy is surviving. Nature is finding a way. It's like Jurassic Park, you guys. It's freaking me out. Luke Locken coming up. Hey, Joel. New to the hobby, I'm setting up a 29-gallon. I just bought some Aponigeton Uvaceus, Vallisneria, Java Fern, Windalove, and Nana Petite. Will Easy Green work, or do I need root tabs as well? I'm using a sand substrate. Well, with a sand substrate, I would almost consider something like some root tabs or whatever, but always keep in mind that a root tabs is a later addition. Root tabs is not, I just set up the aquarium, I better put in root tabs right out the gate. That's not what I would do. I always add root tabs later in the game if I'm noticing deficiencies from root feeding plants. I don't do it right away, mainly because it's a really good opportunity for your plant tank to just get right out of balance right out the gate. So I would take that into strong consideration. Easy Green is really going to work pretty well for all of those plants that you got there. Definitely in my experience. And the Easy Green is just that. It's easy to keep your plants green. It works great. And I would recommend it to anybody, even if you're starting out, even if you've already been in the game for a long time, even if you're a grand champion or whatever. I would definitely recommend it to anybody out there. It really is an easy fertilizer to use. It does seem to be pretty comprehensive. I haven't really been finding any deficiencies with it, so it really is kind of a one-step deal. But if you are using sand, I would definitely take into account that that you are going to run into some compaction in that substrate. So I would look into possibly doing a layer underneath it that's going to, maybe with something that's like really fine volcanic or something like that, probably a laterite based deal if you are going to go somewhere and not get not get a professional or whatever you mean, like produced aquascape substrate. I would go to a rock yard or something like that and be like, hey, you guys got some laterite somewhere? You can find it, and that route, and it could save you a couple of bucks. But with just the sand, I would consider adding in something underneath it or whatnot so that you're able to kind of fill out and allow for some nutrient exchange with the substrate going on, instead of relying on root tabs. But root tabs come in handy later on when you're have it established quite a bit. Now, we've got a quick thing here from Vince Grippa. Said, just wanted to let everyone know The online fish store, Aquatic Arts, you have probably seen them selling live fish on Amazon.com, is doing a moving sale right now for the next couple of days, which is right now. The 4th and 5th, the whole store is 30% off. The 6th and 7th, 40% off. The 6th is today. I'm not sure. After the 8th, the whole store is going to be 50% off. So ordered a ton of fish and shrimp from them and have all arrived in great shape. They even contacted me a couple of times before shipping to let me know they wanted to quarantine something I ordered for longer and gave me a huge discount for the wait, which is awesome. Aquatic Arts is awesome. Just look up aquaticarts.com. Go check that out. The big moving sale, like, let's be honest here. We all like moving sales and stuff like that. This is gonna be pretty good. And there's some of those freshwater snails. They have those in that I posted a picture of on the Instagram earlier. So if you don't have an Instagram, well, go get one, and you can look at a picture that I shot of a snail at AquaPro's house. Is that interesting? I don't know. Maybe. It might be interesting to somebody out there, but looking at that sale, check it out. Head over there and, see what they got. It's just a good deal for the fish fam kind of stuff. So, Aqua Freedom says, I also live in the Tacoma area, but I can't find any good local fish stores I can trust besides the Aquarium Co-op, which is a little far to go all the time. Do you know of any that are a little bit closer? And a thanks on the end there. There is, well, hold on. You know what? I was going to get the links ahead of time. Let's see. Aquarium and Pond Supply. What is this? Aquarium and Garden Incorporated in a Federal Way. They do have a bunch of good stuff there. Hoshi Koi has some good stuff at it. And then what's the other one? I gotta find it here real quick. Let me see. There is the Pond Store. I've never been there, but Aquarium Paradise would be the other one in the south end where I live, near Tacoma. Aquarium Paradise was having issues for a couple of years. Basically, the owner got really old. There's new management. I think the son has come in to take over the store and help out. So there's been a lot of really good stuff happening over at Aquarium Paradise. If you are in the Tacoma South End area where I live, you can head out there and check that out. Those guys are really cool, and I've done some work with them, and they do pretty good work. I've gotten some fish and some stuff from them. Not a lot of plants, though, going on there. A lot of reef stuff and things like that. Johan sends in the fish of the week. The Datnioids. I'm not even going to say that. Undecimeradiatus Mekong tiger perch. I love these tiger perches. They're pretty awesome, but they're a little predatorial for my tanks personally. But, dude, mad props. Loving seeing people actually keeping some of the, like, really interesting fish. I like it. Johan almost always has, like, a really interesting fish that he's got going on. And here is another post of some interesting fish. It says, watch him shoot the cricket. Soon, a pic with only real plants. Joel, what's the positive and negative aspect of an acrylic tank compared to glass? Positives and negatives, glass versus acrylic. Acrylic, expensive, and you can scratch it. But it's lightweight. It's much easier to shoot video and or photography through because it doesn't have any weird coloring or any of that kind of stuff in it, like glass often does. And acrylic tanks are much more modular. You can drill holes in them much easier. You can add plumbing to them for sure. They're much lighter to be able to move them around. Vicky and I easily move around the 120. We took it out of my truck. She's pregnant, right? We took it out of my truck, walked it over, put it over on the bench. No problem. A 120-gallon glass aquarium, I would not let my pregnant woman, pregnant spouse, my pregnant future bride, I would not let her pick that up. I wouldn't even have asked her, But the acrylic 120, we just moved it right over there, set it right down. Glass has the advantage of being cheaper. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much the only. That's pretty much the only advantage to glass is that it's cheaper. It doesn't last as long. You have to reseal them. I think last time I checked, most tank manufacturers only they only warranty them for like 90 days or something like that to not leak or whatever, and then they recommend every 4 years you're supposed to reseal them and stuff like that. But the only advantage to glass is that it's just cheaper. It's just cheaper. That's pretty much it. So hopefully that answers a couple of your questions. But acrylic's the bomb. I love it, and I love my acrylic tanks. I love glass tanks too, by the way. Small ones. So hopefully I can get some of those small aquascaping tanks and start doing some nanos again. It's been a long time, and I'm feeling like, when I was at the convention, when we were at Super Zoo, I was looking at some of the Denerla tanks there. I really want some of those little aquascaper tanks that they have. I'm going to have to figure out where to put them. I'm going to have to figure out where to not get yelled at for having put them there. Well, not yelled at, but, I don't want to irritate my lady. I got to figure out where to put them so they're not in the way of anything. But I've also got a lot of building to do in the fish room, so we'll see what happens. So, maybe if I can get some of those nanos and get some nanoscapes going again. I'm excited to kind of get back into some of that. Dan Squire says glass doesn't scratch so easy. It does scratch. It doesn't scratch as easy, but nowadays when it gets scratched, it normally breaks the glass because it's tempered. Because most of it's tempered glass. We got a post here from Haley Cox with her newest edition. Now, I'm gonna wager a guess here. We'll see if I got that right or not. Always loving to get the pictures, though. By the way, look at these rocks. These are dope. I'm digging those rocks. I don't know about the white substrate, but I'm digging those rocks. Eric chiming in with the fish fam. Oh, hello. And Eric coming in with his Friday question. If no one knows who Eric is, that's gone mad. That's gone mad right there in the chat. One of our lovely moderators, long time. Got to sleep on his couch when I was out in Chicago. Lovely host. Amazing people. Burgeoning aquascaper. You know what I'm saying? He's asking, what kind of soap should you wash up with before putting your hands in the tank? He says, I use heavy-duty hand cleaner at work, and of course I shower after. On top of that, I always wash and rinse my hands and arms before I mess around in the tank. All right, so one of the big things that you want to do is just avoid any kind of perfumes or chemicals or anything like that that could be on your skin. This is a basic kind of easy explanation. If you really do need to wash yourself before you go in, there's like a Neutrogena oil-free, scent-free, whatever-free, everything-free soap that I would utilize to clean off. But realistically, what do? I normally just rinse my hands off and stuff like that. So I just go into the sink with just some warm water and just rinse myself off before I go into the tank. I don't go super crazy about it. Maybe I should. Maybe I should be more crazy about it. But realistically, there just isn't that much stuff on my skin that probably wouldn't be in the fish tank already. You know what I mean? So I definitely, if I'm using any kind of chemicals or anything like that, I will kind of aggressively scrub myself down. But realistically, I don't go super crazy for it. I just normally would use like hot water and rinse off any potential stuff that would be on my skin that would get rinsed off by fish tank water. So I think you're pretty much in the clear if you don't have like just a bunch of chemicals on your skin, and as Andy and Nick and M. Howie's, everybody's saying, it's like just use some water, just warm water out of the tap. It's going to work. It's going to work pretty darn well to just rinse off anything down the drain that, it's what would have probably rinsed off in the aquarium, like sticking your hands in there. So, but that's it for our questions for the Friday show. And we are coming up right on the end of the show. I want to give a big shout out to everybody for coming out today. I appreciate it. I know it's Friday. I know you guys have a busy lifestyle. But let's not forget the super chatters today. LG3 Nation, Dave B, Rumbust, Barbara Jackson, Alyssa Bentley, Vexing Cat, M. Howie9, Rogue Aquariums twice, 54 Punchy, and Doug Stanton. Thank you very much, you guys. I 100% appreciate it. I hope I had enough energy today. I hope I answered some questions. I hope I made some people's dreams come true. Right? Oh, I'm getting to that point where I'm starting to get a little hoarse. But I want to thank everybody for chipping in today. It's amazing. Big thanks to all the patronizers for throwing up your questions, your comments, your pictures, your videos, your YouTube channels, all that kind of stuff. And I hope to, it looks like Eric has posted his Snapchat. So if you want to become a patronizer and find out what Eric's Snapchat looks like, go check that out. But a big thanks to all the people that have been patronizing. I know it sounds really one-dimensional that I'm just thanking people, but I love you guys. I love the Fish Fam. I love this community. I love how well everything is going. 2 thumbs up on a Friday with an extra 2 thumbs up with include extra thumbs in my toes. Yes, a thumbs up. Things are going well. Even though this camera strap broke, we're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out, you guys. You know what I'm talking about, right? We're going to get that all sorted out. Hopefully everybody has a fantastic weekend. I'll do the best I can to try and get you guys some videos over the weekend, but no promises this week, you guys. It's been a little bit crazy, and I think I got heat stroke. I'm not sure. But everybody stay safe out there. The fireworks are over, so go ahead and not light any more of those off because I don't want to have any more panic attack dogs. You know what I'm saying? I certainly don't want my house to burn down like I did see the freeway on fire yesterday, you guys. On my way back from way up north, the freeway was just a flame. It was on fire. Fire raging on the other side of the freeway. And believe it or not, I kind of just looked at it and just kept driving. Mainly because I saw the fire department was coming down the road, you know. But don't light off them fireworks. It's ridiculous. You missed your day. Go put them away. Or I'm going to come out there with a hose and I'm going to spray you in the face with it. And then, you know, then things escalate, right? And it's not good for anybody, right? So be the bigger person and put the fireworks away. Because your day's over. Your day's over. I love you, but your day's over. Okay. Everybody have a fantastic weekend other than, you know, like whatever. Have some fish fun. Set up a new fish tank. Send me a picture about it. I want to hear about it. I want to see what's up. All right. Later. CJ, where did you put this button?